Rather, they're looking for a wife already inculcated with and fully aligned with the family dynamic outlined by Ephesians 5:22. And we have Lucas following up again. Yikes, not taking your husband's last name. Well, maybe it's a Greek cultural thing, but that would be akin to my wife slinging a pot of turds at my entire family. Much like not naming my son after my dad. Chapter 6, chair 6. Good luck finding that traditional masculine feminist man. Oh, that's you, chair 6. Okay.
So what if he said he'll take your name?
Be icky, right?
That wouldn't happen. I would.
Why? What if you found a
does that like actually happen? No.
Yeah, it actually. I have a friend.
Argument.
Yeah, I have a friend who took his wife's.
Sometimes guys take girl names.
I didn't know that. I would, if he really wants to. Why not?
Okay, important question. If her last name's better, I mean, if his last name is like Gaylord and like her last name's like Megatron,
what if your last name's
I'm gonna pick
Epstein?
Megatron.
Are you taking a new last name? Like if you have an opportunity to like flee the Epstein name,
that would be the man's determination.
Or any scheme.
Yeah, of course. But I'm asking, like, would you guys be like, if you were last named Epstein and you had an opportunity, like, would you change your name?
Are you saying like not within the context of marriage? Just like, would you change your last name? If you
sure. I'm mostly making a meme, but yeah.
If a guy wanted to change his last name for whatever, I think that's fine.
Okay.
Yeah,
that's fair. That's not.
Yeah.
Is she just like supposed to change her name to Epstein?
If she's in a relationship with him and that's his given last name, and he desires to keep it, and he's a traditional guy, and his traditional expectation is you're going to take my last name, then yeah, she's going to change it.
And name the son Jeffrey too. Gotta go with it.
You're tweaking.
We have some chats here. We have Belial. He just says hey to Hyacinth.
Oh, hi.
Is this your homie?
Yeah. Aww.
Thank you, Belial. Thank you, appreciate it. Then we have Sean coming in here. It's going to take a moment to pull up. Agrippa's trilemma posits that any attempt to justify belief leads to infinite regress, dogmatism, or circularity. Coherentism is an epistemological theory that can attempt to solve this.
But it doesn't.
Well, you say that, but you have evidence that you're not aware of the basics, so we're not going to listen to anything you say about philosophy when you can't name one book.
You still can't separate absolutism from objectivism.
Can you name one book from Plato that you've read? You can't. Because you haven't read it. Just admit that you haven't read it.
I have read it. I don't remember the title. But you don't know any titles
of the most famous.
If you would like to engage with my ideas, you're welcome to. If you just want to fall back on this, you can.
You're a sued.
I'm not a sued. I've read them.
But you can't name one of them.
No, but do you want to engage with my ideas?
Because you haven't read them.
Again, this is not the dunk.
Your ideas are not worthwhile because you're a sued.
At least I'm not lying about having a degree in philosophy, I guess. Because if you did, you could definitely tell us the difference between absolutism and objectivism.
I gave you the explanation.
You didn't. You said they're synonymous.
In the context, in terms of intentionality, how I'm using it, they can be synonymous. Do you know that words can be?
What a weasel answer. That's crazy.
The word kid, can it mean two different things?
So your answer to what's the difference between absolutism and objectivism is equivocating. That's amazing.
Can
Honestly,
the word kid mean two different things?
Power level.
Can the word kid mean two different things?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, so words are dependent on their context.
Yeah, so you're answering
the
definitional question here by equivocating.
The word subjective, you don't know what equivocation
just so you guys know, is when you take a word with multiple meanings and you use them differently within the same premise so that you can muddy the conversation and make it hard. So he's acting like absolutism when we're talking about it as a definition is just his personal definition that he's thinking of in the moment. When I'm obviously asking about the school of absolutism versus the school of objectivism. Obviously.
I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about your argument.
That's what I am asking you about.
But I don't care because I was critiquing your argument.
Good one, Jay.
Yeah. So all the yapping wasn't addressing the critique.
Again, if you just want to deal with the terms, I'm asking you to define the difference between absolutism and
5 Plato books you said you've read, and you can't name one.
Nope.
Because you lied.
At least I know the difference between these two concepts.
So you're admitting you lied.
Nope.
You didn't lie.
Nope.
But you can't name one of the 5.
Nope.
The most famous philosophical text in history Plato's Dialogues.
And when I read through it in school, it comes in the 5 dialogues. So I didn't memorize the specific books within each of
And
them.
you can't name one of them.
Of the 5 dialogues? Nope. But can you
Right. Because
define
you
the
didn't
difference
read them.
between
And you don't
absolutism and
understand the
objectivism?
topics that you're talking
I don't
about.
think you can.
Because you can't, you don't understand
No
what
idea.
you're talking about. You're a
Plato, Kant, you don't see the difference there?
Name
There's
one.
No difference.
Name one book of Kant. Do you want me to help you? It starts with a C. One of the Kant books that's famous starts with a C.
Same way that
I don't know it.
Right, because you haven't read it. You said I read
have.
3 Kant books.
metaphors describe stuff.
Because you haven't read it.
I'm
Just
sorry.
admit you haven't read it.
I
Just
have
be honest.
read them.
The whole internet, you haven't.
I don't-
Because they're famous.
Okay, are we just gonna
and
circle this
anybody in
forever?
this domain would know.
Do you
admitted
wanna
that
engage with my
you
ideas,
remember
or do
the
I wanna
book
keep citing
you remembered
book
the
titles
book that you read
that I haven't
recently
memorized?
and its title?
Eventually I did,
Right. Yeah, but you can't remember the most famous
Yeah, I
text
don't
in
go around
philosophy.
memorizing book names. You're right. In future debates, I'll do my best to memorize book names. Do you want to deal with my ideas yet, or do you just want to
Could you
keep
name
on being
one
bad
philosophy
faith
book?
to try to get optic
One
ducks?
philosophy book from any of the philosophers.
One philosophy book,
Mm-hmm.
Plato's Republic.
Okay. Did you read that?
No, I actually didn't.
Okay. Can you name one you've read?
Off the top of my dome, not right now.
Because you haven't read the subject
Okay.
matter, and you came to debate.
Again. Nietzsche's. What's
Do you
it called?
Nietzsche's, what's it called?
I'm trying to remember. The God is dead. He goes through the structures. I mean, if I can list, do you want me to list what's within the books? Okay, the Nietzsche book where he talks about structures
I'm gonna
and
help you.
inheritance, Übermensch, Undermensch, and he talks
Thus
about
spoke.
this.
I'm going to help you.
That's not the book that I read. That's not the one I'm citing. Thus spoke there.
Ecce, I'm giving you the
is
first
not
words.
the book that I'm talking
I'm giving
about.
you the first words of Nietzsche books. The anti.
I don't know why you think this is a dunk.
Because you don't know any of the subjects that you're trying to debate.
Do you want to engage with the
You
ideas?
said that I
or
don't
do you
know
wanna fall back
philosophy.
on books?
You called into question my degree, and you can't name a single philosophy book. You're a fraud.
I'm not claiming to have a degree in
No,
philosophy.
you said I was a fraud.
I think you're a fraud because you
But
can't,
you can't name
don't
one
know the
book.
difference between absolutism
Name a
and
book.
objectivism, which you absolutely
Name
learned
one
in undergrad.
philosophical book, you idiot.
I already did.
You lied.
I already
No,
did.
you didn't. You
For
can't
Plato's
name one.
Republic.
Name one.
I just
that
did.
you've read. None.
I've read
Zero.
parts of Thus Speaks Zarathustra. Does that count for you?
Because I helped you with the title. Yeah.
Again, I can go through like the book that I'm thinking of Nietzsche and like what it is. This just isn't the dunk.
And
that you
what's
think
the
it is.
philosophy that he
As
outlined?
a pro-debater,
What
Jake, you should
metaphysic-
be able to engage
what
with
metaphysic
ideas
does
and not
he
have
lay
to
out?
hide behind
In Thus Spoke
titles.
Zarathustra, what's he lay out?
I
what
can't
view-
remember
what
all
view
of
of
it.
history?
I already said that I'd only read
What
parts
view of
of it.
history?
What?
What view of history does
I'm
he
not sure.
lay out in
Like I
Thus-
said, I only
Because
read
you
parts
haven't
of it.
read it. You're a liar.
I said I read
Because
parts
you're
of it.
a liar.
Bro, you're so horny
You don't know
for
the
this.
basics of the
You're
book?
so horny for this.
You don't know the
Why
basics.
are you so mad? Again, I don't remember
you're
the
flailing
titles
because
of
you're-
any of these
you're
books that I've
exposed as a
read.
fake.
If you'd like to engage with
You-
the
you
ideas
don't-
that we're
you
talking
said you
about,
read
I
part
would
of
love
that.
to do that. Can you define
Name
it?
one subject.
The difference between
Name one subject.
absolutism and objectivism.
One
just
thing
once.
that Thus Spoke Zarathustra
This is
talks
just like
about.
not the optic dunk you think it is. Again, I
You-
have
you-
read the
you don't
books.
have no knowledge of philosophy
I
at
don't
all.
remember what they're called.
You don't know
Do
any of
want
them
to
'cause you
engage
didn't
with
read
the
them.
idea? Brian,
You
how long do you want
are
us to keep going?
failing because you lied.
I'm not failing.
You're a
and
liar.
Really mad because I
You
think
lied.
this time, like compared to
You
last
said
night,
that I'm a
I got
fraud.
sleep, and you're so mad.
Oh,
about
now
it.
it's the sleep. I didn't get sleep. I can't remember.
Yeah,
things.
I flew back
I
from
can't do a
Israel, was
debate.
up for 30 hours straight,
Oh,
got 3 hours of
excuses.
sleep, and then
Oh,
flew
I can't
here.
name a book I read. I don't know one book.
No,
but
these aren't
but you're going to
excuses for
call
the
me
book
out as a
thing.
fraud.
Well, you don't know the difference between absolutism and objectivism.
You're going to call me
which
out
are
as a
like
fraud,
pretty basic
and you
things
have
in
zero
philosophy,
knowledge of the
and I would
subject.
hope that you would know it.
You failed.
Citing books
You
doesn't mean that
failed.
you're educated in
It means that
philosophy.
you don't know anything
There's
about
lots
it.
of people
You've not
who
read
read
one
books
book.
and memorize names that are
You
fucking retards
lied.
in philosophy. This
You're a
is obviously
liar.
true.
You lied. So
I don't know how long we want to
Thank
keep
you for
circling
admitting that
on
you
this.
lied. I
No,
appreciate
I
that.
did not admit that. I have not lied. I
You
have
couldn't
not
name one
lied.
book or the subject
I've
matter
already
of the books.
said I've
You've
named
already
one
admitted?
book that's a fucking
What's it about?
philosophy book.
After I helped you.
I already said
After I
that I
helped
didn't
you.
read in Plato's Republic.
What is Thus Spake there? So
I already
what's-
said I don't remember the part specifically.
you
I
don't-
remember cracking
so
the
you
book
have
and
no
reading a bit
knowledge.
of it.
Thank you for admitting you have no knowledge of philosophy.
That's not true at all. I don't know why you need to straw
I don't
man me
need to read
super
any
hard.
philosophy books.
God,
even though I have knowledge of the
I keep
subject
losing
matter.
this debate to this
I have
stupid
no
woman that I
knowledge.
keep interrupting.
I want
So
to debate. I have
don't
no
know.
knowledge.
I'll list book
I have no
titles.
knowledge.
That'll get her.
She's spurging out. She's spurging out.
How old are you again? Like 40
Spurging out.
something?
I have no knowledge of the subject matter.
Aren't you like 40?
Yeah.
That's again.
Oh,
if
so
you
gonna go
have,
ad hominem now
And you've been
because you're spurging
debating. crazy.
Okay, I have to interject. Okay, hold on. Y'all, shut up. You've been literally insulting her the entire time.
I don't care what you think. I don't care.
You've been insulting her the entire time. You've been calling her idiot. Look, I'm not saying. Look, I'm gonna be real with you.
I'm gonna come and debate you, but I'm gonna question your military history.
No, okay,
first of all,
sure.
can I do that?
No, yeah. Hold on. Yes.
You're not in the military.
Yes, I am. 1,000%.
Right?
Sergeant. Yep.
See?
No, but hold on.
That's what she did.
What I'm trying to say.
Bro, why did you?
Oh, I thought. Okay, hold on. Let me finish my fucking point.
Don't pass out the. Okay, no, go ahead.
It's okay.
Oh my god.
Okay, let me finish my point.
Are you sure you don't have fake titties, bro?
Wow.
I'm just.
Let me answer the fucking question. Can I say my point for once? For once in my life, can I speak?
Go ahead.
All right.
So imagine if I had
oh
no
my
knowledge.
God!
Listen, I'm gonna give an example of something. Remember
can I
examples?
please just? I just want to say one thing. You guys can go back to whatever the fuck you're doing.
I would love to stop.
One thing.
She's a fraud.
One thing.
But I want to ask you a question.
Can I just say one thing?
Okay.
I already forgot what I was going to say. Give me a second. Give me a fucking second. Okay. I said. Exactly. No, that's literally.
Oh yeah.
Dude, you've been calling her an idiot the entire time.
Because she is. She
okay,
lied.
but that's
She got
an ad
caught lying.
hominem. Stop. Okay.
She got caught lying.
No, that's an insult. That's not an ad hominem.
Listen.
Okay, thank you. Well, you're insulting her, and now you're talking about
Because she lied. So if hold on. So it's okay to lie.
No, it's not okay to lie, but I'm saying damn, you're acting like
I
you're
said,
acting
I
like
don't think
you
she has a
haven't read these
philosophy degree.
subjects.
she
You're
threw
a liar.
one punch at you.
You haven't read the
One.
books. Huh?
She threw one punch at you, and now you're like,
No.
why are you hitting
No.
me? Why are you hitting me? It's like, bro, you've been hitting her 50 times in a row.
No, that's not what happened. So
Okay.
imagine if I come to you and I say, I don't know anything about the military, but you're not in the military. You're a fraud. What would you say?
I would say,
Whoa.
you can question my experience where I went to basic, my MOS,
okay,
where I've been in the world, and I can answer it off the fly. I don't have to make shit up.
Exactly.
That's not a point to me at all. If you have this
You
background
said that
in
I don't know
Jay,
these
you
things.
gotta pause.
You
You gotta
couldn't
breathe
name
and
a
let me
book.
speak, or I'm
You
just gonna
couldn't name
keep
a book.
talking over you at this point because you
You
will
couldn't name a
not stop
book.
interrupting. You wouldn't even
failed.
let this woman speak.
You failed.
Breathe.
You failed.
Jay, breathe.
You're a
This
fraud.
is not
You got
making
caught
win.
lying.
This doesn't make
your
you look
debate
good.
career is over.
Again.
You fraud.
You've lost every debate.
Brian, I will call you out for things we talked about yesterday. If you go there, don't do it.
I'm bantering.
Don't do it.
I'm bantering.
Okay,
How
I
dare
haven't
you
read these books.
Fine, you're both
That's
frauds.
what
How
you
about
want to
that?
hear, but that's just not true. I have
But
read
you
the
couldn't-
books,
and
but
you
I
have no
can't
knowledge
cite
of
the
them?
titles.
Or
However,
what's in
if
them?
you
Or
have
what's
a
in them?
degree in
Or
philosophy,
what's in them?
Actually, I went through the Nietzsche book and
And you
cited a
couldn't tell me
number
what's
of
in it.
things.
What's
No,
in
I
it?
can't remember
What's
the
in? What's in? Thus spake there. What's in it?
I already, Jesus
So you
fucking
don't know.
Christ.
Yeah, now you're cussing and melting down because you don't know.
First
you
of
lied.
all,
You got caught
calling me
lying.
melting down is crazy
No,
right
you're
now.
melting down.
Second of all,
You do your fake giggle when you're melting
I've already
down.
acknowledged all of your questions. I've answered them honestly. I don't remember the titles. I
So
have
you
read
lied
them.
because
And
you said you've read those
still
things.
won't answer
You
what the difference
lied.
is between absolutism and objectivism.
Did you lie?
Objectivism
Did
is
you lie?
because you know how silly
you
it
lie?
makes you look.
Did you
And
lie?
if you have a Phil degree,
I don't owe you
this
an
would be like
answer
me-
when you're
so
not.
I have a psych degree.
You're not competent.
And say you're calling
Now
me
you're
on
citing your
psych-
degrees. No one cares. That doesn't give you
This is
philosophy
insane.
knowledge.
I would love to
You're
move
not
on,
competent in this.
Or
You're
to say
incompetent.
my piece. It's either
I don't
it's
owe you
all-
a
at this-
debate on that subject. when
You
you're competent.
invited me here. You fucking reader.
You
If
accepted
you didn't
it.
Want
You're
to
the
talk,
reader because you accepted it.
No, not at all. I'm not the one getting mad at you and saying like, I won't engage with you.
Hey, let's
I
not
You
won't
say the
engage
R
with
accepted
word.
a
Don't say
debate
the R
and
word.
lost. You're the reader.
Sorry, is the R word off the table?
Restarted. Say restarted.
Just to make sure, is the R word
I
off the
think we
word?
should. I think we try to avoid it, but sometimes the R word is warranted. So I'll give the R word pass for now. As I'll give a pass for that, but
Gotcha. Okay. So the issue is that if we were talking about, say, psychology, I have a degree in psychology, and you thought that I was incorrect
That's
about something.
nothing to do
say,
with this.
I'm giving
It's
an
irrelevant.
analogy. You can
It's
follow,
irrelevant.
Jay. You can follow along. It's okay. Breathe.
We don't care about
just let me
psychology
speak.
degrees.
If you're such a great debater, you can handle a question.
It's not
back.
relevant. You just want to yap
Okay, I'll
because
just
you want to try
keep
to
talking.
save. You dug a hole.
Okay, there
You
are
wanna
two
dig yourself
options for this
out.
panel at this point. I can continue my talking point, you
Or you
can
could
breathe,
leave.
and you can let me speak, or we move on to something different so that the
I agree.
audience
Let's move
and
on to
everyone at the
something
table
different.
can have something.
I
different.
love that.
Thank
You are 200 IQ, Kyla. Thank
Thanks.
you.
Thank
We're going to
you.
move it on. We're moving it on. Good suggestion. We have Lucas here with the chat. Oh, God.
No.
Lucas, you're killing me. Since you claim to have read Plato's Republic,
didn't
can you
claim
tell
that.
me what
She said
Plato
she didn't
described
read it.
as the
I said
noble
that I
lie?
did not read
This is
it.
basic stuff. Okay, she didn't read it.
didn't read it.
Thank you,
So,
Lucas,
yeah.
for the message.
Lies.
Thank you, Lucas, for the message.
No, lies about philosophy.
You're lying when you said that
So,
you didn't read it. You
guys,
actually did. You have to now
anyways.
define it all. Okay.
So anyways, we have Stifler here. Ask everyone to rate their own looks on a scale of 1 to 10. You can't pick 7. Starting with you. Into the mic.
I think that's the most superficial question to ever ask. Do I need to answer?
It's yes. Go ahead.
I'll do 7 because I can't pick.
What? You
They
can't.
can't pick 7.
You're not going to pick 10?
Oh,
Just give them 1. It makes them really
Hey,
mad.
Kyla. Not going to pick 10?
I'm gonna pick 1.
Imagine if every girl
no,
said
give
one
it, give
at
it,
this
give us the real answer though.
Why would that not
Okay,
be?
so just to be clear, so if you say 1, for example, like so, if the scale is like 1 is like the most ugliest person ever, and 10 is like, super beautiful, prettiest woman you've ever seen, where do you put yourself on the scale?
One eternity later.
6.
Okay, what about you?
I don't know, like an 8. I don't know.
Okay, what about you?
6. With makeup a 6, without a 5.
Answer. With makeup, an 8. Without makeup, like a 5 as well.
A 6.
Okay, Jim Bob?
6.9 every time.
Jay, scale of 1 to 10 on looks.
11.
Jay, you got to give up. Come on, Jay, give us.
I'm just joking.
Give us into the mic if you can.
Just looks.
Yes.
8.
I give myself a 5. I give myself a 5. Okay, that's cool. Hold on. Jim Bob, can you ask a question real quick? I need to just get up for a moment.
What?
I need to get up for a moment. Can you
Oh, well,
just pick up?
it's going to come up? Oh, just ask any question?
Yeah, just ask a question.
Well, I hate to bring it back to this, but
You should probably ask the panel.
I wanted to go back to something about the GDP just briefly.
Oh, you're killing us, Jim Bob.
If it's the case that the GDP of a nation is the product of many individual households and their productivity,
Yeah.
each individual household and their productivity, like if they are seeing that as the value, if it's all tragic, okay, if each individual their drive to produce is tragic, but it actually produces a high GDP, aren't you arguing for a tragic society of individuals?
Nope. Okay, so GDP is not really tied to like the productivity of a household. It's essentially all the goods that are finalized within a country. So it's not really about a household because, for example, if you're a factory worker, you're not like contributing to the calculated GDP in like a super direct way. So it's not like a total one-to-one. I understand your point though, so I'll grant where you're kind of going with this. The answer was an ecological fallacy, which I can just explain now. It's this idea where you take like a normative claim for a group and then you apply it to an individual. So the normative claim that like GDP is broadly good for a nation, that's my normative broad claim. And what you're doing is you're being like, isn't that good for the individual? You're engaging in an ecological fallacy because at an individual level, right, what I'm talking about when I'm saying it's a tragedy is this like sad thing to me where genuinely most of the moral value that we put on men is the money that they produce. This happens a lot in dating, and I think that that's something that's unfair to do to men, particularly in an economy where every single person has to be working anyways, and we don't attach the same level of moral value to women based on the money that they're making. So I think it's a tragedy in that way. I don't think it's bad to like pursue commerce or try to make money or anything like that. That's not the tragedy. It's when I look at a man and I determine his value based on the size of his wallet. I think that's not a good thing. But that doesn't mean GDP is not good.
Wait, so you think it's a tragedy to expect men to be providers? Is that follow?
Nope. I think it's a tragedy to attach the only value of a man to the money that he makes. I think
only.
men bring more than money.
Okay, only.
Right?
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think men bring character, they're people, they have personalities, right? They're interesting.
Do you think it's a tragedy for a woman to look first for money
I think what it does
Top of the list, I mean.
Yeah, I actually think I think it leads women to bad relationships a lot and dissatisfied relationships, but it's a very much like, again, it's kind of gender opportunism where they're like, man, I really hate traditionalism except for when it benefits me. So I generally would advise women to like value that less. You should look for more like upward mobility. Like if money is about how hard you work, you should look for how hard you work and upward mobility, not your set income.
I love that for you.
Thanks.
I love that. I don't know. All right.
I know why you're flirting with me. Oh my goodness, Brian.
I'm not sure if that's what just happened there, but I'll accept it. Thank you. Appreciate it. Okay, so we did this. Finishing up on this, though, we have a follow-up question. What do you... no, actually... Do you think you'll be better looking in 10 years' time? Better looking in 10 years' time. So yeah, you're 28. Will you be better looking at 38?
No.
Okay. And then you're 28 now. Do you think you're better looking now, or were you better looking at 18?
I'm better looking now.
Better looking now. Okay. Kyla, you're 31. Do you think you'll be better looking in 10 years' time at 41?
No.
Okay. And then were you better looking at 21 versus now at 31?
Yeah, I had my glow up at like 23. So yeah.
So better looking at 21? Mm-hmm. Okay. You're 21?
No, better looking at 31.
Oh, better looking now. Okay. You're 21, better looking in 10 years' time at 31?
No.
Okay. You're 24, better looking in 10 years' time at 34?
Not without surgery.
Not without surgery. Okay.
Not without lots of stuff.
You're 25, better looking in 10 years' time at 35?
Yes.
20 years' time, 45?
Oh, shit. It's still me.
Wait, what?
Yeah, I thought you like, yes.
Wait, what?
Yes. Yes to both. Yes to both. Yes.
Okay. 30 years' time, 55? Will you be better looking?
Yes.
40 years' time, 65?
Yes.
50 years' time, 75?
Yes.
60, my math is 60 years' time, 85?
Yes.
Are these like genuine answers, or are you just kind of trolling?
These are genuine answers.
Okay, so okay. I'll just max it out then. Will you be better looking at 105 versus now at 25?
Probably not.
Okay, so where's your peak then?
85.
Your peak is 85. Okay.
It is.
Got
and
it.
no, I'm not trolling. I just...
So just to be clear, you genuinely think that you'll be better looking in 60 years' time at 85?
I'm just built different.
Are you saying you're transgender?
No, I'm literally saying I'm built different, like I'm just made out of a different material.